So before we get started with taking off our old bag, I'm going to show you all of the materials that I use. I do this every time where I prep the materials first before I take off my old bag, because it's just like a baby without a diaper. Now this first step here is not essential for everybody, but I'm going to line up and show you the skin protective sheet. I kind of measured it up against the new bag that we're going to put on to show you how much that I cut around. Basically, my skin is very allergic to any adhesive of the bags that there are. I've tried several different kinds and I prefer this bag the most. However, my skin is still allergic to it. So I am just cutting out sort of like a round shape that'll be a little bit wider than the actual bag itself. So then I'm just cutting out a center hole there. And my stoma is about 1 inch and it hasn't really changed in size. So you'll get this little measuring tool in every box of stoma bags. So you can actually measure your stoma to see what size it is. But I know that mine's about 1 inch. So I just kind of, freehand cut it. Then you have the bag here. I do the drainable bags. So I always like to make sure that I'm going to close it up before I put it on, because I've made the mistake where I forgot to close it and that is not fun. These bags are the best though, because you just Velcro them up. They're so discreet. And then I use a 1 piece. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut out right about that inch mark again. And this is where it's going to adhere to your stoma. So again, if you're new to this, you're gonna wanna measure exactly and then leave about 1/4 inch or 1 millimeter. 1/4 inch, that's a big amount. You're gonna wanna leave about a millimeter around your stoma so it has time, or it has movement to expand and all that when it's, emptying. All right, so we're gonna go, I showed you some products. I'm gonna leave them all in the comments, but we're just gonna go ahead and take off the bag. If you're squeamish, look away. As you can see, I have some stool around my stoma that is normal. I just take one of these little gauze things and cover it, because you never know when it's going to release. My little tip is to actually not drink or eat anything a little while before doing a bag change, and you'll have less chance of it, releasing itself. I'm just getting all the sticky goo off. As you could see before, it had that dark goo around the top because I wear a lot of black leggings or jeans. All of that is pretty normal. So now I'm gonna take a clean adhesive remover wipe and then just wipe around the stoma. I was showing you there that you can get a little bit of blood on there. That's totally normal. I'm gonna show you again in a little clip here, just to show you how much blood comes off of the stoma. It's kind of so I'm just checking around it to make sure I didn't have any other exposed skin. Wow, I'm going really fast. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of stoma powder, and that just helps to kind of dry up any area that you have bleeding or open wound or whatever. And then you're gonna spray this barrier spray on it too, and make sure that's completely dry before you put on another bag, and wipe off any excess powder, because a sticky is not gonna stick to powder. So I just kind of, dry it off, make sure it's all good. Now, I had shown a couple different products there. I'll list them in the comments below and kind of what their purpose is. But I'm gonna go ahead now. The barrier spray kind of dries pretty fast. So I'm just gonna peel off my skin protective sheet here. I always dab off the stoma because I don't want any sort of wetness to be in between what I'm putting on my skin and my skin. So now it's just a peel and stick. And you just push into place. You wanna make sure that this is stuck really well. So I like to hold it in place for a while and then really push it down around the stoma to make sure I'm getting a really good seal. That's gonna be the best way that you don't get leaks. And then for me, I like to use these barrier strips. I think I'm calling them correctly. I don't know. They're these sticky strips that help to make sure it stays sealed. And that way I can do, anything like swimming, taking a bath, all of that kind of stuff. When you take a bath, it does kind of make the edge of your stickiness a little bit worn away, you know what I mean? So I typically get 3 days worth of my bag here before I need to change it. And yeah, this is a pretty smooth change. And I just wanted to show you too what it looks like in pants. So these bags are really cool because you can tuck them up just like this and make it extra discreet for intimate times. And then this is what it looks like in your pants. I typically wear it just like this, where I have it on the lower kind, folded up once, and boom, tucked in, ready to go.